We're breaking down the X factors that will define the AFC and NFC North today on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast.
You are Locked On NFL Scouting with the Draft Dudes, your daily podcast for NFL and college football scouting. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's better than this? It's guys, me and dudes here on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast. We're the Draft Dudes. I'm Joe Marino from Locked On Bills. He's Kyle Krabs from Locked On Dolphins. And we are your NFL experts here with you daily to talk team building across the league on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast with the Draft Dudes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Want to issue a big thank you, shout out, and welcome to our everydayers. Those of you who never miss a single episode, we appreciate y'all being here very, very much. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase.
Joe, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
We are roster cuts a week from today. Is that the deadline?
8 days away, man.
Giddy up. It's now or never for players looking to make a 53 bubble. And a couple of those players throughout the course of their 2025 seasons may end up being really critical X factors for their respective teams. But do any of them land in any of the rooms that we're going to spotlight here today on the show? Because we're looking at both the AFC and NFC North divisions to kind of explore not, hey, here's the best position rooms for these teams that could carry their roster. It's more so if things go right/wrong, this is what is hanging in the balance that could tip the scales for their individual team to meet the upper or lower bands of outcomes for the team. So we'll start in the NFC first, and we'll start with the reigning NFC North champion, Detroit Lions.
I think with the Detroit Lions, boy, you can go a couple of different ways. This will be the team that I'm going to pound the table for to have two position groups mindful of. But I will go to the defensive line. Aiden Hutchinson, I think, has a chance to be the type of impact player of defensive player of the year type finalist. And his return from injury and what that impact looks like is really important. Does he have a running mate? I think that's a major question mark. And I mean, not only does he have a running mate, but how good is the third and fourth guy in the rotation? You've got Aleem McNeil coming back off of a significant knee injury of his own, and you drafted Tyleik Williams. So I think there's just several different spots here, whether it's an unknown commodity coming back off of injury, a rookie that you need to have impact. Is the depth going to be good enough? I think that's going to be critical in where this Lions team is going to go. So I want to call out their defensive line as a big X factor that will define that season.
Okay. What else would you want? Because you're going to talk about two. Defensive line was it for me, for Detroit.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought offensive line deserved a little bit of a conversation since it's been such an identity piece for them. And you drop Frank Ragnow and Kevin Zeitler. That's no small deal, you know what I mean? And I think the thing about the Frank Ragnow deal is it was surprising to a lot of people. This has been a possibility for a couple of years now in Detroit, and I think they have options in place to kind of work that out.
They have some depth too. It's not proven depth, but they've got some depth. It's like they got legit four options for maybe two spots, right?
Right, but I still want to see it come together. I picked defensive line, but I think there's enough with that offensive line transitioning away from Ragnow and Zeitler that's worth talking about.
Could we maybe go off the board here for Detroit too?
Are you going to bring up coordinators?
Yeah. I think this is a uniquely well-equipped group to kind of have your coaching support staff is unique X factor for Detroit. In the way that, remember when Philly lost the Super Bowl to Kansas City and they lost both coordinators?
Mm-hmm.
Or was that after they won the first one? Or what year was it where they lost both coordinators for coaching jobs?
They lost,
It was Gannon and
Steichen, right?
Right.
Yeah,
and that was the year they lost the Super Bowl to Kansas City.
Yeah.
And who did they replace both of those guys with?
Forgettable human beings.
Right. Like they were one and done in both spots.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen with Detroit, but that does introduce a variable of across a 17-game season. What's the conversation for both coordinators going to be like now versus what is it going to be like in January? And I know that flies against the face of we're doing roster position rooms, but yeah. I think it's worth bringing up for Detroit. Let's go to Minnesota, where this is the quarterback spot, right? It's
nothing else. Yeah, it's quarterback.
Great roster up and down. But J.J. McCarthy and his ability to step in, I think if they keep it between the lines, they're a 10-win team. Right? If J.J. keeps it between the lines, you're a 10-win team.
Yep.
If J.J. keeps it between the lines in the first half of the year and then I don't even want to say does the Jordan Love first-year starter
Bo
thing.
Nix. Just does the Bo Nix thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's probably a 12-win team again.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they got a great outlook this year, but and I think the nice thing is they have margins to be competitive even if JJ has growing pains, which they should expect. But it is the ultimate X factor, and it's one of those position rooms that, we every quarterback room is an X factor. But this one, especially with the transition, has I think that the only conversation piece to really have is for Minnesota.
100% with you. And I think the exciting part about that is you feel so good about the remainder of team here that this is a really good example of isolating a variable, a quarterback, right? Where the defense should do its thing. They got the O-line, they got the skill players. Now JJ is going to be in a great position with a great coach to showcase his true skill set.
Green Bay.
I have to go corner here.
It's corner or edge for me.
Yeah, I guess at least with edge, there's some
Rashawn Gary.
Yeah, Rashawn Gary's a dude, and Van Ness is at least a recent first-round pick in his third season. With corner, is there an outside player here? Is Keyshawn Nixon really going to be an answer? Is Nate Hobbs going to transition outside, and we're going to be comfortable
Nate Hobbs
with that?
can do anything on this
I
plan.
know you say that, but I mean, I think you're also his father, so you believe in him in ways that maybe not everyone does. He's a good player. We still need to see him play more on the outside. I think we have, and then good Lord, if we have to tap into depth. I mean, Bo Melton's over here switching positions
from
to
wide
play
receiver
corner.
to corner. Yeah,
so I think it's pretty clear that this corner room is going to be the X factor for Green Bay.
If there was I had this take for A to Z yesterday. If there was a team in the NFL that would meet Cincinnati's ask for Trey Hendrickson, why should it not be the Green Bay Packers?
A first-round pick and a young defensive player?
Give them Lucas Van Ness and a 1.
Right. Honestly.
And if you want like a 4-back, maybe Cincinnati will play ball and you'll get a pick back, but it's like a...
Hey, dude, wait, hold on, pause. You know that Cincinnati would love Lucas Van Ness.
Yes.
Are you kidding?
It's like, hey, if Lucas, it's the mystery box could be a boat thing from Family Guy, right?
Yeah.
Lucas Van Ness could be Trey Hendrickson someday, right?
Sure.
Or you could just get Trey Hendrickson. And like for Cincinnati, for Green Bay, you have one of the youngest rosters in football for like the third straight year.
Yeah.
You can skip the line of maybe Lucas Van Ness becomes this kind of player 3 years from now and just get him now. And like, it would be a huge domino for their pass rush room, which I think is an X factor that exists. And for Cincinnati, it's, hey, we get another young pass rusher back who's on a rookie contract with multiple years of control left. To me, it's like that. If I was Green Bay, I'd offer it.
And don't forget this in the Lucas Van Ness story. We know the Bengals love inexperienced college players, right? Well, that was the deal with him. Was like 8 starts after you go for Marius Mims and Shamar Stewart. This is perfect, man. This is a perfect player for their prototype.
So,
all right.
I had that thought yesterday, but
I think you're on.
I would introduce the edge also, but I think corner is the marquee X factor for Green Bay.
All right, we'll talk Bears. We'll tie a ribbon on the NFC North, transition to the AFC North. So, folks, be sure to stick with us. August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So, whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champion before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. So take a flyer on the MVP race. Is it Lamar Jackson back as the MVP? Does Josh Allen repeat? Do you have a hunch on Baker Mayfield or Justin Herbert, somebody like that? You can crown your champion in August. Maybe you think the Vikings, the Lions, the Packers, the Bengals, the Ravens, the Steelers could go all the way. You could check that out, or you could parlay your division winner dark horses. So visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game.
I have, we're talking NFC North, so this is fitting. I have a wee-woo for you.
Oh, very good.
The Detroit Red Wings retiring Sergei Fedorov's number 91. You remember Sergei Fedorov?
I do. It's kind of from my hockey era when I paid attention. Yeah.
Right. So just it's on the timeline during the ad break. It's all Sergei Fedorov getting his number retired.
Big
like Jaromir Jagr.
Yeah. Some of these hockey players play a long time, man.
Well, and it's what's his name in Washington now is getting in on Gretzky's goal record. I think he's going to get it next year.
He broke it, Kyle. Where have you been? Yeah, I even knew that happened. Come on now. I'm a little surprised.
Ovechkin.
Yeah, he broke the goals, but he's still like, I think he's 3 million assists behind, actually, is the exact amount.
Right.
3 million. Yeah.
Well, very cruel of us to talk about the Red Wings while getting ready to talk about Chicago Bears, where Blackhawks, if you're a Blackhawks fan, you probably don't want to hear it. So let's go back to football and go with the Bears. Kind of feels like Caleb's a worthy answer here. No?
I'll tell you what, if Caleb Williams gets to play against the Bills' second and third stringers that have no idea how to space the field and zone, my goodness, this guy's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Hey, well, look, wasn't that exciting, though? Let's be honest. I know that was a little tongue-in-cheek, but Caleb Williams came in and did the thing he needed to do. He played within structure, and he found targets. The arm looked electric. He ran a great drive, man. It was impressive. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
5 for 6 for, what was it, 97 yards on that drive?
Yo, he could have needed, if the field was 300 yards, they were scoring, man. There wasn't a chance. I've never seen such bad coverage rotations in my life than what the Bills did on that.
Hold on. We'll see what the Dolphins
No. I will win the Suck Olympics here. You got 6 over 3. They have no idea how to squeeze and drive. It was horrible. Anyways, the Bears.
If it wasn't Caleb, what would you want it to be?
Well, I had Bears quarterback written down. So.
Yeah, I think it is appropriate. I just think it's very apparent our odds and ends segment is going to be another 2 minutes at the end of the third segment. So I figured let's give Chicago a little moment here. It's probably the edge rush room outside of Montez Sweat, right?
Yeah, and you made a pretty big investment in Dayo Adeyingbo that, you're looking for a big time impact there. And I think you need one of Austin Booker or Dom Robinson to really step forward and be that third guy. Shamar Turner is an interior player.
Austin Booker can play Keon Smith every week. He'll break the sack record by week 9.
Yeah. He tagged the Bills for one as well. They ran a stunt with Billings, and what a good player Billings is in the stunt game. He blew up Chase Lunt to kind of crash down that side, and Booker looped in and took it to Mike White pretty hard. Mike White, when he gets sacked, brother,
he's tall, long. He's not super dense.
It's a tough scene when that guy takes some contact.
Crash dummy test.
Yeah.
Body reactions. I like Mike. Hope he doesn't take any sacks.
Yeah, you do. Would you like him back?
No. Oh, we're good. I got the other Jets quarterback. Get up to it this year.
Roll through him. Yeah.
All right. So that was the 2 quarterback situations with Chicago and Minnesota deserve to be on the final 5, right?
Yes.
I would like to make a case for Detroit defensive line,
With you.
Green Bay cornerback room. And I would go Green Bay edge or pass rush edge, really.
Over Lions O-line?
Over Lions offensive line.
Okay. I don't feel the need
Because
to dig my heels in too hard there.
I think with the Lions, now, if we were going to get really greedy, I would say the coordinators, but we both like Jared Goff. They've got a great supporting cast of skill players. They still have both the tackles. I have more questions about Green Bay beyond Rashawn Gary than I do about Detroit's interior offensive line.
Okay. We are aligned.
Great. Let's go to the AFC North, where we have the wagon that is the Baltimore Ravens awaiting for us to welcome them into the conversation. This was on our roster power rankings exercise, the number one team from a roster perspective in the NFL, and they're very well represented from a coaching perspective as well. I guess maybe you could go with the second linebacker spot. You could go with the offensive guard situation with Fa'alele and Andrew Voorhees as the penciled-in starters. You could go cornerback room if Jair has medical issues, which I know he's been kind of on again, off again practicing.
Yeah.
You're just kind of split. You could go Tyler Loop in special teams. The transition from, and I know Justin Tucker wasn't the Justin Tucker that his reputation as a kicker had for him for years, but that's a big transition for them at kicker. And they just called that competition, even though they didn't have another kicker on the roster. But Harbaugh was like, yeah, he won the job after the second preseason game. So Tyler Loop. It's hard with this football team to kind of come up with an X factor other than a couple of individual spots on the rosters, not even position rooms.
Yeah, I think you've identified kind of if you're going to highlight anything that's of concern, it's maybe guard, it's maybe the second linebacker, and it's maybe corner. But I thought the collective position group that made the most sense to me to invoke was the secondary, where I think you like the options. I think obviously Jair Alexander, if he's healthy, we know what he's capable of. And you got a nice hedge there in Chidobe Awuzie if he has to miss time. But I think it's the collection of, okay, that, then Nate Wiggins year 2, what does that leap look like? And then Malachi Starks as a rookie next to Kyle Hamilton until Ardarius Washington can return, or maybe he'll keep him off the lineup to, indefinitely, which I think is certainly the plan. It's just a matter of how that comes together. So I love the options. It's just a matter of what does it look like? And we've seen, particularly early in the season with Baltimore, they can have some pass coverage challenges. And so, again, they have plenty of options. It's just a matter to me of how that comes together. And, we're definitely grasping here a little bit.
Right. I think grasping is the appropriate way to phrase it for Baltimore. Now, Pittsburgh was number 2. Correct?
Playoff team, man.
X factors here. Aaron Rodgers. I think you can look at their offensive line as a whole and kind of, it's just a lot of young players, right? And then you have Siamalu had an injury last year. So Rodgers is the top spot for me as far as X factors of not only from how much do you have left in the tank, how much can you move, but also the execution of Arthur Smith's scheme. I think the marriage there, I think wide receiver behind DK Metcalf, are we really going to live in 13 personnel?
I don't think you can. Yeah.
I'd expect a very heavy dose of 12 with Arthur Smith, but
yeah,
I don't know. Is Jonnu Smith killed last year on perimeter screens off a broken run game and hitches and sit routes over top of the ball. Like, if you're going to run Jonnu Smith on 60 routes a game because you live in 12 personnel, I think teams would be more than content to do a lot of that to try to defend that. So I'd probably go wide receiver as I'm talking myself through it. I could present almost anything on the offensive side of the ball. I would go with Rodgers and wide receiver behind DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. They're hosting Gabe Davis on a visit today, who I think actually might make some sense for them. We'll see what Roman Wilson can do and where that's going. Calvin Austin emerging, but I think that wide receiver room is definitely under the microscope for me. But nothing is more significant than Aaron Rodgers and his capacity to come in and run the offense and play within his skill set and how it's aged. I think that's going to be the number one thing. But the young offensive tackles, the receivers, are definitely worthy of some conversation as well. Okay, we got a lot more to do in this division, and we got to tie it all together. Excited to talk Bengals and Browns specifically next. Folks, be sure to stick with us. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize that you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Game Time comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Game Time is going to make that all possible. And Game Time makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to the start of the event. And they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and the lowest price guarantee that takes the worrying out of buying. You can get seat views right in the app before you buy. You'll know exactly what that view is going to look like when you get to the venue. And I love that there's no surprise fees. It's all in pricing. The price you see is the price you pay. There's no surprises coming for you at checkout. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Allow me to proactively clarify. This Steelers fans screaming at me. The Ciamalo injury was at the beginning of the year, so I had a brain for it and mentioned Ciamalo having an injury. It's the first month of the season he missed last year. I don't know why I thought it was the end of the year.
All good.
This is dad brain, right?
There's a lot of information that you try to track across the entire league. And you get like, and here's the thing about it is people love to tell you like, hey, you said 900 things that were correct, but you missed this little detail. And it's like, I want to make sure you know about it. And
it kind of lingered in the back of my head after I finished and pivoted. And I'm like, let me Google it now on the break. I'm like, oh, dang, I'm going to have to come clean here. Cincinnati played last night, their preseason game. What'd you think, Joe?
Gashed. Word association. Gashed.
Say defense? Can we just say defense? Like the X factor? But like also the offensive line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's both of those things. Yeah.
A lot.
And it's a shame because I think so much of Joe Burrow. I mean, his accuracy is just special. It's absolutely special. I don't think they can stop anything. And you're going to have to score 40 to win a lot of these games, I think. So yeah, it's a
really ugly sack last night.
Oh, too. when he was like, it was a horse collar.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I think Joe Burrow's good. I've seen enough Joe Burrow so far. Right. I know that they're 1-5 in 6 opening week games against, for Zach Taylor. I understand it.
I'd go 0-2 again if you tell me.
Come on, man. Like, yeah, seeing him. And that was like definitely a play where you could see a mechanism of injury happening somehow with how he was pulled down. So like put him on the shelf and get ready for week 1. But yeah, defensively, major concern. But yeah, I mean the whole thing defensively, but yeah, the offensive line as well. Areas of major concern.
And I don't know, obviously the numbers with and without Trey Hendrickson are jarring for the Bengals defense. But I don't even know that Trey Hendrickson's going to, you want to talk about a Band-Aid over a bullet hole, right? Like, you still got major questions in the entire back seven. The ability to stop the run. Like, we're asking Al Golden to be a superhero. It's just it's a lot. Now, we say all this, and Joe Burrow could go out there and put the cape on every single week, and they could be a playoff team and a double-digit win team. I don't think that we think that highly of Joe Burrow, but that's their game script. And they're one of the harder teams to peg from top to bottom for me, because what they're good at, they're elite at. And the rest of it is, it's like, how far can that elite thing carry you? And we're presumably going to find out this year. Cleveland?
I suppose it's quarterback. I mean, there's plenty of question marks on this roster, but if they're going to be a competitive team that can make a little noise and be a contender for the playoffs, Joe Flacco is going to have to play at a high level, or one of these young guys is, I mean, obviously Joe Flacco's been named the starter, but if a young guy gets an opportunity, he's got to catch lightning in a bottle and elevate this football team. I don't feel good about Cleveland this year, but if it's going to happen, I think it's because they get unexpectedly good quarterback play.
Yep. I think that would be the appropriate way to look at it. And even just the X factor for Cleveland is less about like their relevance in the 2025 season, and it's more about like their future as a franchise.
They've already secured Jacksonville's number 1 pick next year.
Right.
So I think they have an eye to the future, and they need to. But at the same time, dude, like, they're locked in on this Myles Garrett contract, and they certainly had an opportunity to stockpile there. They didn't. And I think you have a lot of aging players. You look at this offensive line. I mean, we have some young talent at receiver. We need to see what that's about, but this needs to be a lot more about thinking forward than trying to catch lightning in a bottle and backdoor in this year.
Right. And from just a roster standpoint, Cleveland is our lowest rated team in the league this year. Hanging out with the Saints. This team's comfortably down there by the bottom. So that leaves us with the need to finalize 5. We want to represent all 4 teams, as stated by you yesterday. And this is why I'm mad that you did this, because we have to pick something for Baltimore.
Well, you want it to be the linebacker 2, the guard, the kicker, or the secondary? I think we got to go with secondary.
Probably the secondary. Okay, so secondary there. Living's good if that's your X factor.
Yeah, how good's Jair Alexander and Chidobe Awuzie going to be, and his kid Malachi Starks being
Darius Washington back off an Achilles in November, or will it be December?
And does it matter? Because Malachi Starks could be a superstar. How much is Travis Jones getting APY? That's the X factor, right?
For Pittsburgh, Rodgers, we have to pick one realistically, because I think Cincinnati needs to have 2.
O-line and defense?
For Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we've committed 3 spots.
Defense, because that's a lot of position rooms, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Cleveland is going to be quarterback, because I agree with you wholeheartedly. So then it's just Pittsburgh. Is it Rodgers? Is it wide receiver? The wide receiver room as a whole?
I would lean Rodgers. I think wide receiver, Metcalf, Austin, Wilson, I think they'll sign somebody. Maybe that'll be Gabe Davis. Maybe it'll be Amari Cooper. I don't know. But the tackles, I mean, it's just a matter of a couple of high first-round picks proving themselves in Broderick Jones and Troy Fautanu. I feel decent about that. To me, it's the biggest unknown that has the widest range of outcomes is Aaron Rodgers to me.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Okay.
You were also the person on this program that said the drop-off from Aaron Rodgers to the backup quarterback.
I know. That's a good point.
Would be the lowest.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But don't we romanticize about Aaron Rodgers being a player we remember him being and what that looks like?
Sure.
So it's to me like,
yeah,
my expectation of Aaron Rodgers to Mason Rudolph isn't that different. But what I've known Aaron Rodgers to be in my life versus current day Aaron Rodgers, and if you can get some of that back, that's where you get excited about what Pittsburgh can be.
Great. We'll lock that in. Rodgers. Any odds and ends? We got 2 minutes again.
Gabe Davis is visiting the Bills, Kyle. What a time to be alive.
The Dolphins adding Matthew Judon yesterday.
There you
That
go.
happened.
Yep.
1 for 3 up to 6. Glad to see that they didn't get the Shaq Barrett PTSD after they signed Barrett last offseason. Then he retired like the day before training camp started.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about
And
that.
then unretired in November, December.
Yeah, that was strange.
So we'll see. Maybe Matthew Judon will be drawing coverage assignment against Keon Coleman or Khalil Shakir this year.
We could only dream of it. Grant Dubois, now a Buffalo Bill. That's exciting, right?
The wide receiver?
Yeah. The one that the ball hit off his face and then Jamarcus Ingram got an interception.
Yeah, I got an interception because Tua hit him
on the team, baby.
Yeah, it feels like this is the week where vets are getting locked in. Training camp, you're the light at the end of the tunnel for training camp. So expect some more signings, I would say. Because it's or get off the pot time for players to come in and get a commitment for a 53 roster spot because teams got to make their roster cuts. So,
you have a quick thought on Kyle Duggar? Things are dicey there, man. And we had a ton of news. Matthew Stafford came back to practice. Joe Flacco is named the starter. Felix Anduke-Uzomah is out for the year.
Yeah, that's a bummer for him.
Kyle Duggar is not, clearly out of favor. Xavier Howard, who signed with the Colts?
The Colts.
Things happened yesterday across the league.
Yeah. The Colts just got to hope that maybe they should sign Steph Gilmore back now too and just hope that they can catch 2020 lightning in a bottle.
You think Xavier Howard's going to make that team? I guess if there are ones he could make, it would be that one, but
he got up to 5 as the contract value for a guy who didn't play last year.
They've
got a bunch of guys banged up. Kenny Moore's banged up. I think Jalen Jones is banged up. Juju Brents has a hamstring.
So it's out of necessity. They kind of have to do it.
Yeah.
Does Rasul Douglas want to play football this year? Or has the NFL said we're good?
I have some insight on Rasul, but not for on-air programming. So we'll talk about that. And you can come back and visit us all tomorrow. We're going to do the West divisions tomorrow. Kyle Krabs, Joe Marino, appreciate you guys as always for checking out the show. Make it a great rest of your day. We are out of here. Locked on NFL Scouting in the books.